Well, gymnastics was my first love, you know. So when I grew up, I was a really active kid. My mom has to go with me to the playground so many times a day. So when I came here, that was my personal playground. That was my place to be. So I grew up in that gym, and it was just like a lovely time, just playing around, having fun, never thinking about too many goals or dreams or whatever. That started a little bit later. So I started with gymnastics when I was 4. And so my dream about becoming an Olympic gymnast or Olympic champion started when I was 8 or 9. When I was 16, I was just like so happy to be there. Like the first part of my dream came true. I was an Olympian. I was there, and I made the high bar final right away. So that was just exciting. And of course, I was nervous in the beginning, especially in the high bar final. But when the Russian guy Alexei Nemov, when he competed, and there was a huge atmosphere in this building, and the judges had a hard time because they had to change his score. The audience was just like booing and everything. I started to enjoy it because I was waiting for my routine. I was just enjoying. I was starting to laugh, and at this time I got more and more relaxed and was just like fun going out there and just try to hit my routine.
Because he was the youngest sportsman of the whole German Olympic team. At first he got a lot of media time. And we saw this in TV, and he had a big mouth. It's very good here to be in Athens. And they asked him, you are only 16 years old. What you think is not too much for you? But too much? No, I could perform every day here. And he was very excited. And he fulfilled his dreams. He had the team and they had 3 finals. Team final, he had the all-round final, and the high bar final, and that was his goal, and he did it, yeah.
Before the Olympics in Athens, German gymnastics was dead. There was nothing. We had an Olympic champion in '96, but after that there was nothing. One more world title in '97 from Valery Belenki, who just got the German citizenship, so it wasn't that the media was so much paying attention on him. After '04, my first Olympics, it was weird because I got 7th. I didn't make a medal. And usually, you know, as the 2nd place, you're the first loser. So it was crazy that the media paid so much attention to me, but they had hope. They had hope that I could be the one who brings German gymnastics to the top again. When I came back from the Olympics, right away I went to high school. So I had 3 more years of school, so I was just the usual pupil, you know. So it was crazy to handle all the things with training, school, media attention. And I graduated from high school in '07 in the summer. So when we had the World Championships in the fall, I was free. I was just doing gymnastics, so I was focusing just on that, and I could handle all the media things much better than before. And so, of course, my reputation was as high as possible after '07 because I got world champion, got Sportsman of the Year in Germany. So I won everything you can win as an athlete.
It's very difficult. For the media, normally, there are only 2 positions. You are on the top, the over king, or you are down and you are in the dirt. And between these 2 positions, normally there is nothing. And that's very good to know. And we explained Fabian very often that he cannot trust this mess feeling, I would say. Yeah? And I think he understood this. Yeah.
When I watch back to the Olympics in Beijing, I get this anger, this upset feeling again in my body. So whenever I do my speeches about motivation and mental strength, and I go through my career, every time I'm at the point of Beijing, you can see my body language. I'm really pumped, I'm really frustrated because I knew there was much more in the tank, you know. I was able to get a lot of medals there. I had 3 medals the worlds before, so that was my goal, to get exactly the same 3 medals again. Bronze with the team, silver in the all-round, gold on high bar. But then I went to the floor in the people's final as well with medal chances. So, and I still feel that way, you know. Of course, I appreciate and I love the bronze medal now, but at this point, I knew that that wasn't the thing I wanted to win there, you know. So, and I remember the first weeks after Beijing, I was throwing this medal just into the corner of my room. I was so pissed, I was so upset and disappointed. And now with the view of the whole career, of course, it's a great story. Coming from bronze to silver to gold at the end, it's like a Hollywood script, you know.
And the last day he had the high bar final. Also, this exercise was not perfect. He had to change one time the direction. He lost 0.5 points. But all the other gymnasts had more problems than he, and so he got the bronze medal. But he said, I don't like this bronze medal. But that was the beginning of a bad time, I would say. Because in the next year, in 2009, he said, okay, I will do better, will do more. And so he did more training, harder training, and more competitions.
Many people give up too early. And the very, very good guys, the great guys, they keep moving as long as they can, and they're always trying to fight and to find a way, you know, where sometimes it looks like it's a dead end, you can't move on. There are people who find a way to get through this or get around these obstacles, and I think that makes the biggest difference between the athletes. And that was the thing we also did in the last 20-25 years. There were several situations where I felt like probably it's the end of my career with my injury on my foot, or with different situations. And we always, because we had a good communication between my dad and me, we always found a way to get through this and to get the motivation again. So I think that's the hardest part, to always keep yourself motivated, to keep your goals in front of your eyes, to remember why you're doing this sport or why you're doing the thing you love. So that's a big part of the mental coaching. Whenever I was in a little down feeling, I had to remember myself, why are you doing this? And the only reason why we do gymnastics is because we love it. We love this sport, that's our passion, and that's what we want to do. So that was always a big thing for me, and to keep my Olympic dream in my mind was helping me to get out of bed every little morning, whatever my feeling was.
I remember the very good organized Olympic Games in London. Everything was perfect, but he had a hard competition in the qualification. But he was qualified for the all-around final and for the high bar final. And I remember the first apparatus in the all-around final was pommel horse. It is not his best event, I would say. It's very difficult for him. Directly starting the exercise, he had to fight for the skizzer. He did a skizzer with a half turn, and he did it with a lot of power. And and they cut this element, and so he lost a lot of points. They had been the high bar finals, and he performed an excellent exercise there and got the silver medal behind Epke Zonderland from the Netherlands. It was a great thing because Epke is a close friend from Fabian, and they had one goal that no Chinese gymnast could be in front of them. And so they worked in the training gym, they worked close together. Okay, in the competition, everybody works for himself, but he had a wonderful high bar exercise.
We were always trying to focus just on working with the feeling, like how does it feel to do this skill on high bar? It's kind of a rhythm you have in your body. So it was more like a mental game all the time during my high bar routines. And of course I was a guy who was able to do different skills in every routine, to just like react when something is not going the way I wanted to change the routine a little bit, to keep up the difficulty as high as possible. So I was thinking a lot during my routines, but the biggest goal of also my mental training was to get in this flow so that I'm not thinking anymore.
Judge number one was an American guy. He had told us before, Fabian, take time. You are the first, take time and give me a sign from the podium, give me a short sign that we can start. Then the green light will start. The green light will say we have 30 seconds to start the exercise. If the judge want to make some trouble, he directly push the button and the green light starts, and then you have to hurry up to start your exercise, and it's very difficult. And this time, this guy was very, very friendly, and so he could prepare on the podium like all the other competitions. Took some water, to take the shock, at this moment I thought, I was thinking about where we are. Because I remember this exactly, because the situation was so similar to all the other big competitions. I did not recognize at this moment it was the Olympic Games in Rio. I brought him to the bar, and he started directly with Rhine swing and the Cassina, a difficult move, release move in the exercise. And I directly saw that there was so much rhythm in the exercise. And I was completely convinced it would be a very, very good exercise. And so it comes. Only at the dismount again, it was 100% perfect. He was standing there, but came very fast up from the deep position in a high position, and so he had to make a little step backwards. And boy, I thought, oh, bullshit. I hope that will not be the 10th 0.1 point, at least to avoid a medal or something like this.
When I won my gold in Rio and I had shoulder surgery and I did one more season in the German league, I had this fun again. I realized how happy and privileged and blessed we are to be able to do this gymnastics skills and everything like that. So when I started with gymnastics, I just had fun. When I finished up with gymnastics, I had so much fun. In the time between, of course, you always just think about the routines, about your skills, what's coming next, just doing like one by another and not thinking too further away. Like you remember probably whenever we think like, oh, this is a great routine, we're almost done, then a mistake happens. The only reason why we started with sports as a kid is because we had fun with it. So, and the older we get, the more successful we get, we lose this fun a little bit, or we don't think about it anymore. So that was a little bit sad. I would say that at some point you're just focusing on your goals, on the success, on hitting the routines, but you're not focusing anymore on having fun during and especially think about what you are able to do. This is, you know, if a normal human being is seeing us doing gymnastics, they said that's not possible. You're crazy, you're from a different planet or something, you know? So, and understanding this makes me smile again. Fortunately, everything worked out and I got the gold at the end, and was like the completion of my career. It was just like perfect, you know, and just like the best moment of my life.